Sunni. I pronounce. It depends on what part of Germany you're from, but I pronounce
You're from the American part.
Zunächst. That means, first of all, zunächst. Es eine Freude im Willen zu sein ist. Danke Ihnen, dass Sie uns in Ihre wunderschönen Stadt. That means thank you for letting us come to your beautiful city. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, aber ich kann es besser sprechen, als ich es verstehen kann. Ich werde versuchen, auf Deutsch zu beantworten, so viel wie ich kann. Let's see here. No, that's not appropriate.
BILD it is, don't worry.
Oh look, I forgot most of my notes. Okay, so that's all I've got. Go ahead and feel free, like I said, if you want to ask me in English, it'd probably be the better way for me to understand it, but I'll try to answer out Deutsch, but likelihood I should probably just speak English because you all speak English, probably. Most of you, many of you.
Before we talk about Jurassic World,
yes,
we would like to know about your experience with Jurassic Park, because that's a movie everybody knows. Do you remember when you saw it the first time?
Natürlich, ich war 13 Jahre alt, als ich den Film zum ersten Mal sah.
Okay, some more?
Yeah, it was unglaublich. It was unbelievable. I remember it just captured my imagination, and it whipped me into a frenzy of wonder and science and adventure, and it was my first big event movie. I knew Steven Spielberg's work. I was 13, so I was a little young to have a great understanding of filmmakers and their bodies of work, but him I knew I loved because of the Goonies, and because of E.T., and because of the Indiana Jones series. And when I saw that these dinosaurs in the trailer just looked so unbelievably real, and it was just like, felt groundbreaking. I didn't even know what I was seeing on the trailer, and I waited in a couple of weeks in anticipation. I just remember it being my first big event movie. It was like that for Star Wars for a lot of people, where they went back to see it in the theater over and over again. They stood around the block and waited to see it. I missed Star Wars by just a couple of years because I was a little too young to experience that in the theater, but this one I did see in the theater, and yeah, if you'd have told me back then that I would one day grow up to be an actor, first of all, let alone an actor who would star in another chapter of this great franchise, I would have just went crazy. My brain would have exploded.
Some more questions for Chris or Colin?
Me, actually.
Hey, I have a question for Colin. I mean, you're filling some very big shoes, and I said to you earlier you succeeded in it. How involved was Steven Spielberg in the making of this movie, and did he give you any sort of special advice?
Yeah, he did. He was very closely involved. Thank you, by the way, for having us. This is an incredible reception. I do not speak German, and I apologize. No, he was closely involved in the writing of the screenplay and the story, and this was based on his story. The idea of having a fully functional theme park was his, and for us, for Derek and I, who in our writing process, and then for me as a filmmaker, the crafting of a story that could look itself in the mirror and call itself Jurassic World, and not suddenly just be embarrassed and run away, was a huge challenge. And so reaching that point, we would have these story calls. I don't know if any of you were like real nerds like me, you would have read the story transcripts of Steven Spielberg and Lawrence Kasdan and George Lucas that when they were working on Raiders of the Lost Ark. And we got to have the same transcripts where